This is the moment where the excuses finally run out, where the loyalty starts to feel like betrayal, and where the silence around the obvious becomes louder than any criticism. Because watching Lamar Jackson stand there stunned, trying to process another season slipping through his fingers, wasn't just heartbreaking, it was revealing. It exposed a truth the Baltimore Ravens have been dancing around for years, that this partnership might be fundamentally broken, not because Lamar isn't good enough, not because he didn't fight, not because he didn't show up, but because everything around him keeps collapsing at the exact moment greatness is demanded. This wasn't a quiet loss. This wasn't a shrug-it-off defeat. This was another high-pressure moment where Lamar did exactly what a superstar quarterback is supposed to do, dragged his team into position to win, and watched it fall apart anyway. And at some point, repeating that cycle stops being unlucky and starts being irresponsible. The shock isn't that the Ravens missed the postseason. The shock is that people are still pretending this is sustainable. Still pretending that a generational talent should just keep absorbing disappointment while everyone else resets the narrative. When Lamar said he thought they had it in the bag, that wasn't arrogance, that was exhaustion. The exhaustion of a player who keeps delivering in the clutch only to see something else break. A kick sail wide, a pass hit the ground, a defense fold, and the season end with him staring into space, trying to answer questions about a future he hasn't even had time to process. That's why Stephen A's words hit so hard, because saying Lamar needs to find a new home isn't disrespect, it's an alarm bell. It's a challenge to an organization that keeps asking Superman to save the day while quietly forgetting to build a fortress around him. This entire story exploded because the Ravens lost, missed the postseason, and immediately turned the spotlight onto Lamar Jackson, his reaction, his future, and his relationship with head coach John Harbaugh. And the way this conversation unfolded on First Take pulled back the curtain on years of unresolved tension. Lamar was asked about Harbaugh in the immediate aftermath, visibly stunned, clearly not ready to think about next year, and that raw moment became the foundation for a much bigger debate about accountability, fairness, and whether Baltimore has maximized or wasted one of the most transcendent quarterbacks the league has ever seen. If you want real conversations like this, the kind that don't hide behind safe takes, go ahead and subscribe and leave a like, because this isn't about protecting feelings, it's about protecting legacies. Cam Newton's perspective was simple and cutting. Lamar deserves a pass for this season, because a quarterback is only as good as the moments his team finishes, and when you do the impossible, when you extend plays, make ridiculous throws, put your team in position to win, and then watch a field goal get missed, everything you did becomes invisible to the final score. Cam pointed to the reality that Lamar showed up, that he took over the game when it mattered, that the Isaiah Likely catch was outrageous, that Zay Flowers made plays, and that once again Lamar put his team in a position where one execution seals the deal, and once again it didn't happen. The comparison to last year's Mark Andrews drop wasn't accidental. It was intentional because it reinforced the pattern that when the Ravens lose these pivotal games, it's not because Lamar disappears, it's because something else fails at the worst possible time. Ryan Clark pushed the conversation deeper, acknowledging that you can't blame Lamar for this loss, while also reminding everyone that all-time greats don't get endless passes, because greatness invites scrutiny. But even within that scrutiny, Ryan made it clear that there was nothing more Lamar could have done in that game. From fending off pressure to delivering clutch throws late to giving his team the chance to win. The uncomfortable part is what comes next, because this isn't just about one night. It's about a career arc that keeps circling the same painful outcome. Lamar has been a #1 seed. He's hosted an AFC championship. He's been one play away from overtime in a divisional game, and now he's on the outside looking in again. Not because he failed, but because the structure around him keeps cracking under pressure. Stephen A took it further by refusing to give Lamar a complete pass for the entire season, acknowledging that injuries mattered, that his level of play wasn't consistently what it was during that historic stretch last year. But even that criticism came with context, because this team has let him down 3 straight years in defining moments. A goal line fumble, a dropped pass, a missed field goal. Those aren't abstract excuses. Those are concrete failures by players paid to execute. When you stack those moments together, year after year, The narrative changes from Lamar not doing enough to Lamar being asked to overcome too much. The defensive issues only deepen the frustration, with poor rankings against the pass and in yards allowed, exposing a unit that couldn't hold leads or close games when it mattered most. Add in an offense that inconsistently commits to the run, even when Derrick Henry is gashing defenses, and you start to see a pattern of misalignment, where the talent on the field isn't being supported by consistent philosophy or game management. The discussion around potential changes in Baltimore isn't just about John Harbaugh. It's about coordinators, about whether this staff truly understands how to protect and maximize Lamar Jackson as he moves deeper into his career. What makes this situation so unfair is that history won't remember the details. It won't remember the drops, the misses, the injuries. It will remember the absence of Super Bowl appearances, and that's the burden Lamar is being asked to carry alone. Stephen A's most damning observation cuts right through the noise, that the Ravens built this team assuming Lamar would always be Superman, instead of building a team that could win when he's forced to be Clark Kent. When his legs aren't at full strength, when his body isn't cooperating, when he can't strike fear with mobility, where is the plan? Where is the support? Where is the adaptability? The early part of the season showed flashes of balance, high-scoring games, offensive rhythm, and then injuries hit, and instead of adjusting, the structure collapsed. Even in this final loss, with Lamar doing Lamar things late, the Ravens still lost, and that's the point that refuses to go away. That this shouldn't come down to one play every single year. That's not bad luck, that's football, and football punishes organizations that don't evolve. When Stephen A says Lamar needs to find a new home, he's not attacking Baltimore out of spite. He's sounding the alarm that if there isn't a structural change, Lamar Jackson's prime will continue to be defined by what almost happened instead of what did. This isn't about blaming one kicker, one tight end, or one coordinator. It's about recognizing a pattern that keeps repeating because the foundation hasn't changed. Lamar Jackson has done enough, proven enough, sacrificed enough, and at some point, the responsibility shifts from the superstar to the system around him. If the Ravens can't fix that, if they can't build a team that doesn't require perfection from one player every January, then the most controversial statement suddenly becomes the most honest one, that staying might be the bigger risk than leaving, because greatness trapped in dysfunction doesn't fade quietly. It erodes, season by season, kick by kick, drop by drop, until the question isn't why Lamar didn't win in Baltimore, but why Baltimore didn't do more to make sure he could.